What's up? This is Vernon Davis, and this is the Second Wind Podcast.
Creating things.
Yeah, I like creating stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So what I did is I started making music, and I in this movie with Sam Trammell and Cam, it's called 72 Hours, a bank heist movie. It's gonna be good. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the movie, so they use my music too.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. You bull.
I just did this song the other day. Like, I just keep it. You know, the more you do, you get better and better with it. It's an album I have, but this song I just did is pretty cool.
You created this all yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now I don't create a lot of the beats by myself, just some of them. But I just mostly just record, come up with like I woke up like this, never had it easy. I woke up like this, did it for my people. I woke up like this, said we always equal. I woke up like this. I woke up like this, never had it easy. I woke up like this, did it for my people.
Did this for my people. Yeah, I woke up like this. Hold up, man.
I gotta put that song on Spotify.
My man was talking his shit, man. Go stream my man's music, man. Apple Music, what's on Spotify?
Spotify, Apple.
All that shit, man. Creative, man.
Before we get into this next episode, we just want to give a huge shout out to all of our fans and supporters. If you could please do us a favor, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Again, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. It means the world to us as we continue to build this platform.
McCaffrey with the try.
Boom! More rushing yards, man. I told y'all. I knew it.
Bro, I thought you were done watching football. Don't tell me you had an entry on this game.
Yup, and I told you, using them other apps. I'm on Prize Picks now, boy.
Bro.
Prize Picks is the most fun I've ever had. I'm already up 25 times my money, and you know I be throwing a little bag. This is how it works. You just choose 2 players, more or less on their stats, place your entry, boom, make money. Simple as that.
With all that winning you're doing, is it hard to deposit your money, especially with all these other apps going around?
Bro, it's the easiest thing ever now with Apple Pay. Quick, easy deposits this football season. Come check this out, bro.
Nope, ain't no way, bro. No way.
Bro, check this out. I had Christian McCaffrey and I had Jettas on the Moore. He just hit, bruh. Quick $1,000, dinner on me tonight, dinner on me.
Big time.
You got the tip, though. I ain't gonna cap.
Okay, bro, you convinced me, bro. Prize Picks it is. How do I sign up?
Go to prizepicks.com/Mercury and use code Mercury to get a first deposit match on $100. Again, go to prizepicks.com/Mercury and use code Mercury to get a first deposit match up to $100. And you never know what you could turn that $100 into. Someone like me might turn it into $1 million.
Yes, sir. You see what's going on. Got that Hello Fresh right to the front door. #1 meal kit in America. I didn't have to sit in line for an hour and a half at the grocery store. Didn't have to spend $90 on a $10 burger on Uber Eats. You know how they charge for all the delivery fees and everything. And it's cheaper than groceries because me and Jarvis got y'all a discount. Second Win 50. Go to HelloFresh.com/SecondWin50 and get a discount. And I'm going to even show y'all how to make it later on tonight. Y'all going to see me chef it up a little bit. You know that song Adele got where she's like, hello? She just forgot to add the fresh to the end. So I'm going to show y'all how to really, really, really cook. Man, chef into that. Hello Fresh. I told y'all I'd be back, man. Got the HelloFresh cheeseburger wraps. 20 minutes to make. Easy instructions, and I can't even make toast, so that's how you know it's easy. Go to HelloFresh.com/SecondWin to get 50% off. Again, it's HelloFresh.com/SecondWin and get 50% off. You got the HelloFresh lettuce wraps.
What up, Second Win family? Welcome to another episode of the Second Win Podcast. Per usual, I'm James, a.k.a. Gio, great one, whatever you want to call me here again. With Jay Mills,
man.
You know what I mean? My
Glad
brother, my ace.
Glad to be back.
And we back with another fire guest, man. Somebody who is astounding. Like, once you learn about all the things that he does, you're going to be amazed.
Yep.
2-time Pro Bowler.
Yes, sir.
Super Bowl champion. One of the freakish, like, craziest athletes you will ever see. Mr. Vernon Davis is on the show today.
Man.
We appreciate you coming on here today, brother.
Appreciate you for having me, man. I appreciate it. Good to be here.
We know you're a busy man, so with the fact that we can fit this into your schedule, man, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It means the world.
Yeah, no problem.
I ain't gonna cap. I probably owe you a couple dollars because That 4-3-8 that you ran on Madden used to win me Madden leagues.
Right, he was a
used to
cheat
win me
code.
money games. Like I probably owe you like 10%, which it's probably like a couple of dollars, but I just gotta throw that out there. I'm gonna give it to you after the show because like
You really, that's a lot of games, right?
Nah, for real. Like you he was so crazy in that game, bro. You a freak athlete. I gotta put that out there. That's just crazy.
No doubt. But just I wanted to start back, man, with your childhood and how you were raised. So you know, growing up, you talked about before how, you know, your mom suffered from drug addictions and drug problems, you know, and your grandmother you know, helped raise you and your 6 other siblings. How did going through that as a child shape you into the man that you were and going through those experiences at an early age?
Yeah, I think a lot of times when we go through something that's extremely difficult, like for me, growing up in the house with my 6 siblings and being raised by our grandparents, I think back and I can see that it was well worth it. You know, I didn't want it to happen that way. Every kid always wanted their mom and dad around. Right. But unfortunately, I didn't have that. But I was able to take that, the pain and the passion and just all those memories and experiences I had and turn it into something amazing. Every time I touched the football field, I used to think about those moments that I had where I always wanted my mom and dad to pop up, but they never did. You know, I just wanted them to be there. Dang. And that hurt that I felt, it allowed me to be better for my kids and to just be a better human being in general. And that's what I did. I turned what someone would see as a negative into a positive.
And I think that's my dad tells me all the time about turning negatives into positives. Now that was my next question about asking you, like, you know, did those experiences motivate you and drive you to be the best? Like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take all this negative energy. I'm gonna be the best football player I could be. Like, that's what really drove you, like using all those emotions.
Yeah, using all those emotions and just putting it into like something I was really passionate about. And football was an outlet for me. It was a way for me to channel those emotions. It was a way for me to be able to find joy and express myself in ways I couldn't in other places. So just being out there having fun and just seeing something, just creating something. Because when you're working on a craft, when you're working to be great, you're working a craft and you're finding yourself and when you find it, you're like, man, this feels good. Right? And then it never stops. You always want to find something else.
Yeah, for sure. And even like in your situation, like, so when kids are in situations like that, they have 2 options, right? They either go the right way or they go the wrong way, right? And you use that as motivation to obviously go to the NFL. But there was a time where, like, you talked about in 6th grade, like, you was on probation, you know what I'm saying? So you were going down the wrong path, but then you quickly turned it around, went to the NFL, and you were followed by your brother, right, who also went to the NFL. How important was it for you to kind of, like, lay that blueprint to show him, like, this is how you do things?
Yeah, growing, my brother was always the one. He was never really outside like I was. I was always on the streets. Every time I came home, I would drop my backpack and go right outside because, you know, I tried everything. I tried to smoke in 5th grade. I tried to sell drugs in 6th grade. Stole my first car in 6th grade. Everything happened between 5th and 6th grade. Yeah. And by 7th grade, I just made a whole life change. Like it was a drastic change. And I didn't look back because I knew that in order for me to be what I wanted to be, it had to start right now because I saw my friends, my friends started getting arrested by 7th grade. One of my friends got shot. So it was just, it was happening. Real life was happening. So I just straightened up and I wanted to be that example for my brother. So what I did is I decided to go to a totally different school. Yeah. Because if I went to school in my neighborhood, then I was there with the guys I grew up with and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, you were surrounded by that no matter what.
Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere where they didn't know me. You know, because I don't know, my thinking process was totally different. I was thinking on a totally different wavelength. It was crazy. And my brother just followed me. He followed right behind me and he did exactly what I did. Yeah. And it worked.
What about that situation made it click for you to be like, I have to make that change? Like, even at a young age, like, you necessarily don't really, your decision making really isn't the best. So what for you, like, you were mature enough to realize, like, you know what, this is not it. I need to get my act together. Like, what clicked for you? Like, what was it?
I think the simple fact that I had a praying grandmother. She prayed all the time.
You were protected.
I was protected. I was anointed. and her prayers allowed me to be able to make decisions in a way that most kids in 7th grade wouldn't be able to make.
Right.
And when I made them, every decision I made from that point on was always a winner. It was just like a winning decision.
Oh, that's amazing, bro.
God damn, that's deep
that's
as
amazing.
hell.
Nah,
Like,
that's for
real.
real.
'Cause
That's
I come
amazing.
from a praying family too,
For
and like,
real.
there's so many situations where I'm in, and I'm like, I know it's gonna work out for the best because I
Yep.
know I'm like protected. Like I feel like that. So you talking about that, I'm like, damn, like I feel like that too. Like I know it's gonna work out. Like I know the situation's gonna turn out for the best. That's dope that happened for you, man.
And you know, obviously a stud high school player. You end up going to Maryland, having a great career there, and you get drafted 6th overall by the 49ers. And at the time, you were the highest drafted tight end at the time before Kyle Pitts just did it at number 4. How do you feel being one of the pioneers of like the new age tight end? Because you really were that guy. You were 240, 245, running 4.38, jumping to 42. Like, and now, like, you were before your time, and now you see the guys like the Kelseys, the Darren Wallers, like guys like that, the receiving tight ends, the freakish guys. Yeah, Evan Ingram. Like, how do you feel being one of the first pioneers to, you know, transcend this new age of tight ends?
You know, I don't really think about football as much as I used to because I'm the type of person that when I do something, I leave it all behind and I go into the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people always trying to. Don't get me wrong. Look, football is everything to me. It gave me a lifestyle. It gave me possibilities. It gave me a platform to be able to do other things. So I'll never turn my back on it. It's just that I like to leave it right here and just continue to keep going. And I like to stay involved with it. I stay involved with my son. He's playing high school ball right now. And anytime any of the organizations like the 49ers or the Washington Commanders call me, I'm always there supporting them. But to be able to just have the understanding that I was one of the first tight ends to, not one of the first, but to be a part of the evolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of that change,
Yeah,
you know,
for
that pass and that threat.
You could line him
you
up at
can't
number
put a
one.
linebacker on this guy no more,
You
right?
can put him
Because when I
anywhere on
first
the
came in the
field.
league, I was in San Francisco. My first couple years, they had linebackers on me all day. I don't think
Dead
people
meat.
remember that. They had linebackers, but I was trying to figure it out. Yeah, I would beat the linebacker, but it wasn't consistent. But after I found something, right? After I found whatever it was that I found, the mojo, whatever, it changed. Everything changed. I was just going over the top. I was doing whatever I wanted to do, and they was like, "Hold on, we can't put a linebacker. We got to put a safety." They couldn't put a safety on me because he couldn't run with it.
Couldn't run with it,
So
yeah.
then they had said, "We need to find like some kind of corner. You know, we need to find a nickel or something because we got to find somebody that can run with this guy."
Right.
So whenever I take the middle, I would always take the middle. They had, they had a like Tampa 2.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
And then
When they had
and
the
then
linebacker in the
Mike
middle, he
runs through the
dropped
Try to
back,
run
right?
with you.
Yep.
So whenever he dropped back, that didn't work. I just run right by him. They thought that was gonna work.
Yeah.
So what they started doing is they started cheating. That's it. We got double this guy.
Yeah.
Then we got Tampa 2. We got to have somebody over the top because he gonna run right by this linebacker. They were right. I'm running. I'm
That Tampa
gone.
2 is dead meat.
Yeah, Tampa 2. I don't care how fast he dropped back.
But back then, like that's unheard of to be guarding the tight. Usually, that's receiver talk.
That's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't even working for you and you were a tight end. Like, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Coming up in that era of football, like, that's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. I've always, for some reason, I've always been able to keep my speed. When I walked in to Dunbar, downtown Washington, D.C., I went in and I was like, asking coach, I was like, hey, can I try out? He was like, yeah, what position you want to play? I said, anything that has to do with scoring touchdowns. So next thing you know, Josh Cribbs was there, Daryl Dowry. It had all these studs, and I was just running faster than everybody.
You and Cribbs? Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's my quarterback for
Oh,
a year.
my God.
So he was like, coach was looking at me. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Now, at the time, I'm like 6'2", 6'3", 215 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could tell I was going to get bigger, and I'm just running by everybody. And as I got bigger, I got 220, I was still running the same. I got faster. And then when I got to college, I gained some more weight, and I'm at like 250, running the 4.3, 4.4 consistently.
Jesus.
So it was consistent. Like, it wasn't like I was doing it all the time. Like, every time I released from the ball, just like the NFL, every time I released from the ball, I'm gone.
Yeah.
They couldn't slow me down.
When did you realize your potential? Like, I can be really elite. Like not like that. Even like you said, you being that big, running that fast, that's the 1% of the 1%. Like, when did you realize your potential? Like, I'm a game changer. I'm a difference maker.
At any level?
Or
I'd say-
when it clicked for you. Because like I said, when you're so athletic, you don't even know what you're doing. You just do it. It's so natural to you.
Mm-hmm.
I say 10th grade. That's when I noticed that I was like really good.
Yeah.
I was like really good. I was like, man, this is crazy. They had me playing all over the place. They had me playing free safety, DN, tight end. I was returning punts, and I was a big kid. So I was like, and I was faster than everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. And then after the 10th grade year, everybody was coming to the school for me.
Yeah.
Maryland, UVA, Purdue. I mean, you name it.
You know, oftentimes in football, like being a freak athlete is only one part of the equation, right? It's like mind, body, and character comes with it, right?
Yeah.
And early on, you talked about how like you felt like at times you could be selfish, which you've grown so much from throughout your career. You just grew ridiculously.
Mm-hmm.
But early on, how did that like mindset and how like kind of shape or kind of affect the team and affect like your own performance?
Just not having the perfect mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having the perfect mindset of it can definitely put you in a situation where you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I learned my lesson when I was playing. It was a game we played against the St. Louis Rams,
Mm-hmm.
and I was penalized. But that wasn't the first penalty I received.
Right.
I was always getting into something. And my coach sent me to the locker room, Mike Singletary.
Yep.
I get home, I'm laying back in the bed with my kid's mom, and I see him on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on national television. I'd rather coach 10 players than to play with someone that's all about themselves. I want winners. I told Vernon to go take a shower.
That was so good.
Man, I look at her, I'm like, oh, man, I was so humiliated.
Mm-hmm.
I went in the next morning, sat down. We had a heart-to-heart. I started to cry. He was crying. And he was like, son, you can be better. You can be the player I need. I know you can be if you just got to put the team first, son. He's like, you can't do this.
These
I believe in
impressions
you.
is damn
No,
good.
that's what I'm saying. It's
These
spot
shits
on.
is damn.
You know
I
what I'm
ain't mean to
saying?
cut you off, but I'm listening like, God damn, this is crazy. Like, we gonna get into why you so good at that
Right,
later. But
yeah.
But he was that really touched me. It changed my life. He impacted me in a special way, allowed me to be the leader that I am today. You know, I just learned a lot from that, and I learned to not penalize the team, not put the team in a situation where we don't need to be, and put my teammates first.
mm-hmm.
And you talked about before, you know, going into that situation, like when you were drafted as a rookie, you said you looked up to guys like T.O. and guys like that, and you felt like you should act like that coming into those situations, right? Why did you feel like, you know, looking up to guys like that, I got to be like that?
Well, I think as a young guy, we always want to emulate the best of the best,
Yeah.
right? We want to do exactly what they do. If they have their money somewhere, we want to put our money where they have their money.
For sure.
If they're scoring touchdowns, we want to score touchdowns. So it's just it's a way you conduct yourself, and some people might differ. Everyone has their own perspective, like whatever works for them. You know, I wouldn't say it's a right. There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
You know,
For sure.
there's right and there's wrong. There's a time and place for everything. And for me, based on my character and who I was and where I was going, I just had to be better. You know, I couldn't look up to certain people. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I had to be who I was supposed to be and do the right thing and just be there for my teammates and be what the organization brought me in to be.
Right.
Which is a leader and a great person with great character.
1,000%.
1,000,000%.
And after that speech, you know, him saying that and that blowing up on TV and you having that conversation, your career transcended after that. You know, you ended up playing in a Super Bowl and winning one and playing in a Super Bowl and losing one. Talk about those experiences and what you learned from those situations.
Yeah, all my life I always wanted to, since I started playing football, I always wanted to win a championship, especially in the NFL. And to be able to make it that far and put in all that work and lose was devastating. But I couldn't tell myself that after the game. I had to be positive because you always want to turn a negative into positive.
Absolutely.
Right?
For sure.
And being a leader, you always have to say things like, you don't have to say it, but you have to, it's just a part of who you are as a leader and as someone who's vibrating at a high frequency.
Absolutely.
You got to let the guys know that, hey, it wasn't our time. We did a wonderful job. We should be grateful because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to make it to the Super Bowl. So to be even just playing the game is a plus.
Just to be there, period.
Yeah, we might not have a ring, but it's a plus, man.
That experience.
If you die tomorrow, that's a great accomplishment that most people would never make it to.
Right.
So that's what I kept telling myself. I told my teammates that, and we felt good about it. At the next day, it was all good.
It was a reset after that.
Yeah, we lost, but we made it. We accomplished something that we wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
And that's a hard goal, man.
That's real.
No, making it there, and you got the chance to do it twice. Like, what similarities between the two teams, were so similar? Because championship DNA, man, like, there's a reason why you guys made it that far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what similarities did those two teams have that made it special?
No, that's a great question. I think the similarities that I saw in both teams is that the vibration we had, man. We were together. We did everything together.
Like it was a family atmosphere.
Yeah, there was no
teams.
I. You know what I mean? Everybody got along. Everybody came in with the winning attitude. Every day of practice, everybody was ready to practice. Like it was exciting to go to practice.
You enjoyed going to work.
In practice, we competed. We competed consistently. Like when you constantly competing at a high level every day. I've been on teams and I've had years in San Francisco, Washington, where you come to practice, but you make it towards the end of the season, you kind of slowing down, right?
Yeah.
Because wear and tear and all that. But nah, we were practicing like it was the first day of practice.
Every day.
Every day.
Going at it.
I mean, you got me in practice. I'm shooting out of a cannon.
Yeah.
I'm testing everybody. I'm competing with everybody. Even if they don't want to, this is what I'm about to do.
You was talking trash?
No, I wasn't talking trash.
You was chilling.
Yeah, I was just playing at a high level. I was just practicing at a high level. I've always practiced at a high level.
Right.
I mean, you can ask any coach, you can pull up the film. Like, that was my game, man. Just like, anytime I release from the ball and I'm running a route, I'm going at 100 miles per hour. Or even when I'm coming off the ball. That's why I used to get into a lot of fights when I was young. I don't know if you guys saw the fights on YouTube or whatever, but because I was always 100. I was always 100%.
I'm not here to play.
Coach said 60%, I'm going 100.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, I just didn't really have no
off button.
Yeah, I didn't have an off button. I just wanted to go because that was like the pain and that passion that I had to be successful.
For sure.
So to me, like every day that I was out there was a privilege and an honor. So I didn't take it for granted.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah, it was always my last day in my mind. It was my last time walking on that football field. That's how I was thinking.
When you played and won a Super Bowl, right, with the Broncos, what was it like being with Peyton?
Peyton was a unique human being, man. There's a way as a leader we have to understand something, right? When you, as a public figure, as someone who's gained so much in life, right?
Yeah.
I can't post my cars, I can't post my house. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't have certain things like that.
Absolutely.
So you create friction. You create a space where people look at you like, oh, come on, he's showing off, right?
For sure.
You just can't make people feel a certain way. Even
Absolutely.
in the same thing goes into the locker room. When you're a quarterback, I mean, you're the biggest piece of the puzzle that we have.
Facts.
You have everything. You have the highest paid contract. You got everything. People are watching you, even when you don't think they're watching you. To become a leader and to win the team over, you have to consistently be humble. You have to show humility all the time. You stay out of the way, and you just sit back and understand that there's a lot of guys in this locker room who want the attention.
Right.
Yeah.
They want the attention that you have that they can't get, right? So they're loud. You have different personalities.
Absolutely.
But the way you do, Peyton was so good at it, man. He always minimizes himself in the locker room.
Damn.
That's the time for the guys who want the attention.
Yeah.
Right? But when it's time to step on the field, he stands out like a sore thumb. He's a general. All right, get DT right there, DT right there. How about you go back there, bro? Go to the shot right here, bro. Hey, flex out for me one time, Omaha.
Yeah.
At Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, man. But he's a perfect example of what you're supposed to be when you're a quarterback, when you're a leader. Like even in the meeting rooms, he took over. He was like the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He was calling all the shots. He was explaining things. It was brilliant. It was amazing to see, man.
Watching him is like, I feel like pre-snap, he would say a million things. He would always end with that Omaha, like, Was he changing the routes, like every single route individually? Because that's what it looked like just watching on TV. Like, it was so perplexing to watch.
Yeah, football. So football is football. A lot of people don't understand when I explain football, what football really is, and how amazing these guys in the locker room are, how intelligent, how smart they are.
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
there's so much information you have to learn.
Smartest human beings.
When Peyton's calling Omaha, he's changing something. He recognized something. He see, maybe we expecting for this play, we want cover 1, right? Man to man, but maybe they go to cover 2, so now we got to change something, right? Or he might see something else. He like, something's changing, and he has to change, so he has to go to that. So as a wide receiver or tight end, I might be playing X, I might be playing Z, I might be playing Y, right? So I have to know if there's, I have to know every route. There might be a 50 to 60 combinations, but I have to know every route in those 3 letters.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Kirk Cousins just comes up to the line, and he might call Falcon.
Yeah.
Right, I might be a Y, I might be a Z, I might be an F, but I have to know exactly what it is, and it has to be fast. Especially when we go 2 minute. That's when we use those. That's when we use all of those words.
Everything's so
Go
much
2 minutes
faster.
fast.
Yeah, everything's so much faster.
Like
Come to
this.
the line. Falcon. Okay, Springfield. Texas. You know, might be anywhere. Maybe I'm out there. I can't come into X or Y or Z, but I got to line up right here. I got to know that route.
Yeah.
And then you talking about guys like Peyton, and you talking about even like yourself. Like, you guys are what we used to say in school, culture drivers, right? And like I said, you played on 2 championship teams. What was it about the buy-in that made the culture so good? Because you got to get all those grown men on the same page, playing at that pace, and the buy-in. Like, I think that's the coolest thing about if you study great teams, the culture wins.
The culture wins. You're right about that. Every day I walk into Denver, DeMarcus Ware or Peyton, we about to win this chip. We about to win this chip. Everybody's excited, like babies, like kids.
That's what they
like kids in a
expected.
candy shop, right? Like every day we talked about it. We talked about it in the locker room. Every practice, man, we going to the championship. We trying to win this champ. We trying to win it. So we were programmed. Everybody's programmed. When you say it, when the best players in the locker room say it, everybody started to believe it, right? And then it trickles down. You say it all the time. It's consistent. Every day we walk in, we going to the championship. Every practice was like it was critical. It meant a lot to us that we went out and we had a great practice. Just like in San Francisco, right? We had to have a great practice. My coach came up to me one day, he said, "You can't have a bad practice." That's
a
what
bar.
the whole team thought when I played on both teams. And it was a difference. You could tell there's a difference in that year compared to any other year.
Right.
Like, if every year was the same as those 2 years I had on any team, we won the champion. We would go to the championship every year.
Every year, yep.
But it just wasn't there every year. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Or maybe it was there with some guys, but the whole team didn't buy into it.
Right.
The whole team has to buy into it. It was just something special about those years, man, that everybody bought into it.
Yeah.
And then, you fast forward, you're in Denver, and you're there for a year, and then you decide to go to Washington after that. But you said something before that was kind of interesting. You said, after that year that you were kind of fell out of love with the game of football at that time and point, and something about Washington gave you a spark again, right? And motivated, and gave you that fire to be like, you know what, like, I still got more in the tank. Why did you feel like at that time before that you fell out of the love of game of football? And what about going into that Washington situation made you motivated again?
So going to Denver, I was expected to be like, everybody's excited to have me there. It's like, everybody on the team knew about me. They knew my accolades. They knew, I was an all-pro. I was a great player. They knew that. So when I got there, I expected to play right away, but I didn't think about the intricacies of Peyton Manning's playbook. How long it would take me to grasp all this information. I think that was the issue with me as we continue to go on. It's like, it's just grasping all of Peyton's information. It takes time to get that, man.
Right.
You go from January, February, March, all the way up until September to learn all this information, right? You get time to yourself. I didn't have no time to myself. Everything was just fly. It was so frustrating to be able to just, a guy that's being traded mid-season is tough, man.
That is tough.
So
It's
tough.
tough.
Yeah.
man.
It's so tough, man, and it was crazy. So I go back to your point. The point is just I didn't get what I expected myself to have in that with that team. You know, I expected to go there and just do more than I did. So when I didn't do that, it bothered me a bit. And then when the season was over, Denver, they didn't
bring you back.
show any interest in bringing me back. So I was like, all right, cool. So Washington was the first team to reach out. It's my hometown team. And I basically did a prove-it deal. They brought me there because I guess the thing was that Vernon was getting old. He was winding down. That wasn't an issue. I mean, if you look at you go back and look at what I did in Denver, I made some big plays for that team.
Absolutely.
Right. Initially with Brock Osweiler.
Yeah.
I was making big plays for them. You know, you see I could still play. Clearly, there was nothing wrong. But politics of the game, that's what it was. So I went there. I said, okay. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I know if you give me opportunity to learn what it is I need to do and to give me a role and let me explain what it is that y'all going to have me doing and give me an opportunity, I knew what I was going to do. So I wasn't worried about that. So I went there with the biggest smile on my face that I've ever. Midway through the season, they called me into the office and they was like, hey, we want to sign you for 3 more years.
Oh, that's cool.
They seen it like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
He still got that juice. Y'all playing with him.
Yeah, they saw the juice. They saw the juice was there. It started in practice. They were just in awe, like, when they saw me practice.
Right.
Because I told you, I'm always like fast. And for me to be as big as I was and run the way I was running, they was like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
There is no way this works that well. Why are you so happy, bro? What you mean? I can't be happy? Nah, you can be happy. You just a little extra today, though. I'm not being extra. I just got this new thing today that made my balls feel mad smooth. Here, feel this. Damn, that's smooth. It's really like this? That's what it does? That's that Manscaped, bro. For real, it's super legit. And last time I didn't use this fool, bro, I messed my stuff all the way up, cut myself up. It was really bad. Manscaped, bro, it's the real deal. Don't tell me that's that Lawnmower 4.0. Yeah, bro, that's that advanced skin-safe technology that reduces nicks and cuts. They also got ball deodorant and, you'll like this one, crop spray toner. Well, bro, where can I get me some? Because I know you got that discount code. Come on, bro, you already know I got everything. Fall's right around the corner, so you know we need fresh balls. Get 20% off and free shipping using code adversity at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping using code adversity at manscaped.com. As the leaves fall, make sure you have it all with Manscaped. I hope you don't know I'm about to use his Manscaped.
And I feel like, you know, for every athlete, you always go through those roller coaster of emotions. So, like, you just came off of a Super Bowl win and they didn't bring you back, right? And you're contemplating retirement and all those other thoughts and feelings. But, like, what made you be like, nah, I got some more in the tank? Like, why didn't you hang it up there?
Because I'd never been the type of guy to, like, I didn't hang it up because I knew I still had more left in me. And I couldn't stop at 10 or 11 years, right? I think I just completed my 10th year. I wanted to keep going because I knew I could. I never had surgery. And I was at a point where I was still, like, super athletic. So I was like, I'm not about to hang it up right here. I'm gonna go to Washington and do what I need to do. And I just kept fighting. I mean, it wasn't my time. I knew it wasn't my time to walk away from the game. So I just kept going.
Yeah, you felt that, like, it just wasn't my time.
Yeah, it wasn't my time.
Yeah. So this show is called Second Win, right? And you hit your second win running, like, literally sprinting, right? You've been on 6 movies, like 4 series, like you've really been doing your thing, acting. What is it about acting that really, like, gained your interest?
So I started acting. I took my first acting class when I was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I had the bug. I was like, wow, I want to try this because I went to school for art. Art works on all facets. I mean, it's just like if you're into art, you probably can sing, you probably can write, you probably can rap.
Yeah.
You can do it all. It's just, that's how it works. So I took the class, I fell in love, and I started seeking opportunities in the film space.
Yeah.
And I got a few opportunities. I met a guy, and you know, when you want something, you go after it. Eventually, you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to eventually get a haircut.
Right.
And I just started doing it. And then after I retired, when I walked away from the game, I already had a script, and I had a partner, and we were going to shoot this movie. But
Damn,
I just didn't know when I was going to be done with the game. But we had the script already. So when I realized that, I'm gonna walk away from this game. We shot February
Yeah.
of 2020, and then after that, I just kept going, man. I just kept doing it, and next thing you know, I'm at like I've done all these different films. I've learned the craft. I've studied consistently. Even now, I still have my same acting coach that I started with in 2020.
Yeah.
We work every Tuesday and Thursday.
That's fire.
Yeah, we just work the basics. If there's a script, we go over the script. We break it down. You know, really find the character in that script that I'm playing. We just do all kinds of things. So it's just consistency and just like the love. And I feel like there's a parallel to acting and football have some of the same similarities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because of the process. The process of
getting there,
right?
Working
just
at
like just like on Sunday before a game, you're gonna make sure that you catching your balls, you're doing this and doing that. You're super prepared before the game, before Sunday.
Yeah.
So when the cameras start rolling, you ready. Just like with acting, I have a month, 3 weeks, month and a half to really prepare this character. So now when the camera's rolling, I'm full with all kinds of things. Like and then what happens? You just go different places. You don't even know where you're going to go.
Where you going? Yeah.
You just go. You know. So that's what I love about it.
Man, that clip where you was just cried on the spot.
Oh,
and
man.
And then you just like, no. And then the
You know what's funny?
You had a straight face.
Let me tell you about
How
that.
you get in the character? Like,
what
that
I'm
shit was,
saying.
I dropped my jaw. I was like,
interesting.
yo, this is crazy.
That shit was crazy.
You
I
know
never
what?
seen
A
that.
lot of people, you know, that's interesting that you say that because my teammates always like, dog, that was cool, that was good. But it wasn't good. You know why? Because I didn't have all the tools that I needed or the understanding of how acting worked.
Really? I
So
thought that shit
so when I look
great.
at that, that's horrible to me. And I say that because of where I'm at right now, right?
Yeah.
So when you it's being emotional is one thing in a film, right? You have to be able to go from different things, right? You're upset, you're happy, angry, you know, all the different emotions. But when you're crying, most of the times you try not to cry. Like if I'm sitting in front of you, I'm gonna try not to cry, man. I don't want y'all to see me cry, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You want the audience to cry for you. The people that's looking at the movie, you want the emotion to be there from the internally, and you want them to cry for you because they're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
They're gonna feel the emotion, so they're gonna start crying before you cry. You know what I mean? And you don't. It's all subtle. It's like, you know, it's just subtle. It's just a subtle thing. And it starts from inside.
Yeah.
So now that I understand that, now it makes me a more dynamic actor. But that was just an example of me being a young in the game.
That shit, I thought that shit was great. You
Yeah,
just broke it
sharpening
down.
them tools, that's what
and
I'm
now
saying.
you say you didn't even think it was good. That's
Yeah.
nuts. Like,
Yeah.
You know, for you, I think for any athlete that decides to transition into what they're doing next, how were you able to separate Vernon Davis, the football player, identity-wise, from, you know, what I'm doing next? Vernon Davis, the actor, or, you know, Vernon Davis just could be whoever. How hard was that for you, or easy was it for you to separate the two? Because ball's been a big part of your life. So just transitioning into something new, like, you may still have those thoughts and feelings. So how were you able to detach?
Well, it was. I've always been like, I never really let football never really became my identity. It was just something I happened to be good at, something I loved, something I was passionate about. Gave me a platform to be able to express myself in different ways. But I never really became that. I always knew that tomorrow was going to be better than today and yesterday. So I've always been, somebody told me, they said, you never really transitioned. You've always been doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It was really never a transition. You just moved from one space to another, but I wouldn't call it a transition. I was like, wow, that's interesting you say that. Because I've been doing like everything that I'm doing now, I've always been doing it. And you can look at your life right now and see the momentum. Everything's based off of momentum. Like the song Pushing P.
Yeah.
That's momentum. That means momentum.
mm-hmm.
Like he's talking about, if you look at it, it's like M plus something equals P.
Yeah.
Right? But everything is about like where we are right now. If you look at who you are and where you are right now, what you're doing, in the next 26, 25 years, you're going to be doing much better.
Right.
You're gonna be doing this, but on a bigger scale. You know, it always gets bigger. Tomorrow always gets. If you stay consistent, and you believe, and you keep the momentum, it's always gonna be this much. It's gonna be like this, but bigger.
That's a fact.
Always.
That's a fact.
Consistency is so key.
Always.
Like everything in life.
Everything in life. We just can't. It's just hard because you can't see it. So it's kind of like that's why faith is so important. And faith is so big. If you don't have faith, you don't have nothing. You gotta have faith.
1,000,000%.
You gotta. Faith is being shown what you hope for and certain of what you do not see. But it's hard sometimes, even hard for me.
Yeah.
Like when I left football, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know what it was going to look like.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So it was. But then I thought back, I was like, same thing like when I was in college. I knew where I wanted to go, but how's that going to happen? And then I fast forward that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like one of the 6 guys in New York to get drafted. 6. At the time, it was me, Reggie Bush, Mario Woods. They only invited 6 guys in New York, and I'm one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing, man, to be top 6 out of every college player to play the game in college. Like, I'm top 6. Okay, what happens after that? I don't know what it looks like, but I know where I want to go. Pro Bowls, you know, I'm best player in the NFL, you know,
Right.
Super Bowl. So everything, it always gets better and better and better.
You think that was because of your faith?
Faith, having faith. Because if you have faith, that's all you need is faith. That's all you need, man. If you have faith, you have a work ethic, you have likability. Likability gives you possibility. If you have likability, you have possibility.
That's a
if you have love, you treat people well, high character, respect for yourself, respect for others. If you have those core things within yourself, man, you always gonna vibrate at the high level. You always gonna be successful.
Those are some great, you're always gonna operate. Yeah, you're right.
Always gonna have, you always gonna be successful,
Yes,
man.
sir.
If you got those things,
facts.
man, you don't gotta worry about nothing.
And talk to me, man. You big shot, man. Talk to me about, you got the opportunity to work on a recent film with Morgan Freeman. And first of all, if I had to have someone narrate my life, it would be Morgan Freeman. Like, that dude is amazing, man.
Legend.
Legend. Talk about like some of the things that you learned being on set with him. Because like you said, greatness in every aspect, you can always learn, right? So you being a football player and someone watching your routine, like what are some things you watch from him in the acting world? Like, okay, there's a reason why he's as good as he is.
That's it, man. You hit that. Same thing we doing right now. What we doing, he's doing right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The same thing we doing, what I just talked about, he's doing it at 84, 86 years old, man.
At a high level.
Now you understand why he is Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Why is he always getting called to do this? Why is he getting called to do that? Why is his name so big to us? His name's big. He got a great name.
Right.
You hear Morgan Freeman, you're like, oh, wow, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hard to get next to. You can't get next to Morgan Freeman. He is the way he is because of his approach. When we on set, he's the first one on set, last one to leave at 80-something years old.
Jeez.
Damn.
Most guys have a stand-in, right? When you working, Morgan Freeman was Morgan Freeman was the stand-in at 80-something years old. You know, he big time, so they bring somebody else in. He's done Vernon rehearsal. We're gonna do it like this, blah blah, right? He stayed there, and then afterwards rehearsal, he stayed there for 15 more minutes having a debate with the director, trying to figure out why he wanted this a certain way.
He's meticulous.
This scene.
He's a legend,
Dude,
man.
when I saw that, man, I said, I gotta do something different.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was already doing like what he's doing because I did it in football. But he's humble. He just wants to work. He just wants to. He does everything, man, you're supposed to do when you're doing something. And to see that at 80-something years old, I said, wow.
At 80, wow. Yeah.
Man, if I'm not doing this at 80 years old, then I ain't. It showed, like, if he's doing this at 80, he did it when he was 40, he did it when he was 50, he did it when he was 60, he did it when he was 70, he did it when he was 80. Consistency, man.
Yeah.
He's super consistent. That's why he's great. And most people don't have that.
And for you being on set with him, like, I always wonder, like, guys who are just new into the acting world and you get a mogul on set, like, did you feel like, not intimidated, but like, did you feel like, like, damn, okay, I gotta bring my A game. Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Exactly.
Morgan Freeman. Like, I can't.
You gotta come
half
correct.
stepping, you know what I'm saying?
It was
half-ass
like it felt like I was at the combine. When
Right.
I was at the combine, I remember going to all the coaches, and they was like, "What you gonna do today?" I was like, "I'm gonna run a 4.3 in a 40." North Turner, I remember, he was with the San Francisco 49ers offensive coordinator. He looked at me, he said, "Oh yeah, boy, you ain't gonna run 4.3. Yeah, I'll make you run 4.3. Yeah, you gonna run 4.3? Yeah, he's like,
no way.
He's like, ain't no way. Nobody believed it.
No
He's
way,
like,
I'm
"I don't
like,
think you gonna run
you
4.3."
just talking shit.
Man, I went out there and ran a 4.3 twice, not once, but twice.
Twice on their
I ran a
ass.
4.36 and I ran a 4.38.
What is they talking about, man?
Yeah, what they talking about, man? Get them out of there.
Get them
man.
out
Let's
of
go.
here, man. What
So-
is they talking about?
Hey, the North Turner shit is
Hey,
hilarious.
man.
Hey, man, I can't So my process was like, I kept listening to that Eminem song. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunities come once in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking the whole time, man. Like, there ain't gonna be another. There's never ever gonna be another time for me to come to the combine and run a 40-yard dash, or do a vertical jump,
Yeah.
or do a shuttle, right? I had one shot, one opportunity, and I'll never get it again. So I took advantage of those opportunities, and that was my mindset. That song,
Yeah.
and just knowing that I'll never do this again. That's how I was with the Morgan Freeman movie. Like that scene when I come in and I'm like, right? I blew him up.
Oh, he talking that shit, man. He talking, what that mean?
That's Zulu.
That's
That's
Zulu.
Zulu?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what I'm saying. Please do not go to the policeman any further, right? Please do not go to the policeman any further. So when I learned all of that, I learned the dialect and I learned the actual language, but nobody told me to do that.
You gotta acting. You're not acting, but you gotta
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody told me to learn the dialect.
Went that extra
The
mile, 'cause
producer,
that's
the
what you're
director
used
didn't
to.
tell me to learn the dialect. They didn't tell me to learn the actual language. They didn't tell me to do none of that. I came with my own stuff. And that's what I'm saying about being an actor, right? You create the character how you see him.
Yeah.
You know, you do your research, you bring something interesting to this character that's not even there on the script.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. That's what I'm saying. Like, as you continue to evolve as an actor, you find these different things and you understand, like, hey, this is, you have the free range to create this. You're creating this character. You're creating a character. You're giving something on paper life.
Yeah.
How can I give him life? What's interesting?
And make people believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting?
For sure.
Right? So that's what I mean by that. But it was pretty cool to be able to just share the screen with him and know that, hey, I'm putting my best foot forward.
Some people who act their whole life and never be on set with a mogul like that. So, bro, you already hitting pillars in your acting career, man. I can't wait to see many more milestones you crush, man.
I appreciate that, man.
You know, there's some actors with insane range. Like, you look at dudes like Jamie, who can do like Law Abiding Citizen, and then do like Ray, and then do like Django, and
Right.
like, Will does Focus, and then he does Fresh Prince, he does Hitch, he does
Men in
Pursuit of
Black.
Happiness. Like,
Right.
what's a role that you see and you're like, that's kind of out of my comfort zone, but I think I could body that.
I think playing a paranoid schizophrenic character or a character with Down syndrome or something.
Yeah.
Why that specifically?
I think I just vibrated those type of roles. I mean, there's a challenging role, and it's something that's like hard to do. It's
Yeah.
a challenge.
For sure.
But I know that I can do it with this preparation. Preparation, you can do anything. I just I feel like I can play anything.
Yeah.
Joker, whatever, any kind of character. But a role like that, that's like an award-winning role.
Right.
Yeah, you play something like that. But I would love to take on a role similar to that.
And they always say, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. What throughout your acting career made you uncomfortable that forced you to grow?
I think when I first started acting, there's a lot of things in there that I was really like uncomfortable with. Like, for instance, like when I did my first movie, some of the activities is like crazy. Like I talk about these activities all the time, like putting my daughter in a casket, my 12-year-old daughter in a casket, and seeing her nail colors and her skin and what color dress she has on, what color is the casket. Her brother standing there watching her and crying and wishing she was still alive, stuff like that. Right, I know y'all looking at me like I'm crazy.
But that's your
No,
thought.
that's, I get it.
But so there's the things like that, and as well as like going to the window, pretending like I'm in the middle of a desert and no one's around. And there's a boat on the water, and I'm trying to get their attention. Like, hey, help! like those emotions and just those activities made me super uncomfortable. But I said that, look, if I can get past this stuff, if I can put my daughter in a casket and be able to control my emotions and not cry about it.
Right.
But I can cry. I mean, you want to cry about it, but I'm saying if I can control the crying, understand that, look, this is all like me reacting to a certain thing. Control it. Because some people go into class and they just start boo-hooing and crying, and they can't stop crying because they so, like, they just can't stop crying.
They just can't stop crying.
Because but you gotta stop crying. You can't. You're acting.
Yeah.
You got to be able to accept these things. Once you accept the things from your past, then you can act it.
Yeah.
Right. But that kind of stuff made me super uncomfortable. But once I got past that, or other activities like he say, turn around. Okay, the judge, I'm gonna do like this. The judge tells you you're going to jail for something that you didn't do, right? And they're gonna give you life in prison, right? And you already been in jail for 6 months, but you're going to court. If I give you this, that means you're going home. If I give you that, that means you're going to jail for life. So I turn around, I gotta respond to it like,
ooh,
that's crazy.
Yeah, on the spot like this.
Yeah, I got on the spot.
Man, how do we do that right now? I want to see how you react to that joke.
Yeah, if you with it, I'm with it.
I know. I want to see, like, if you was going to jail, how would you react?
If I was going to jail, man, I'm gonna be upset. I'm man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my emotions take over.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be able, but like I've been doing it for a while, so
Yeah.
So I just if I hear that, then I feel it. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, you know, I'm getting up, like,
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's just-
I've never seen like an actor really like get into his character. Like just a little mannerism you doing. I'm like, yo, he could body that shit if he really wanted
I mean,
to.
I do it all the time, so it's just like I'm not thinking external. I'm thinking internal. Like I'm thinking like I'm really in this room. Like, like what the fuck? I'm gonna look. You gonna look like. In acting, in every action there's 1,000 little actions, right?
Right.
It can be as simple as like if I'm walking into the house, right? Imagine it's like somebody who never been in front of the camera. You tell him to do a scene where he come and sit down. He's getting ready to talk to y'all, right? You're just gonna sit down like this, but when you sitting down, you want to you're gonna check and make sure you ain't sitting on nothing. You gonna be like, you're gonna look around like, it's nice house.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? You know what I mean? You're gonna
There's so
maybe
many
fix
little
yourself,
things.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna move. You're not gonna just be sitting there stiff. But that's something I had to go through too when I first started. Like I just one-dimensional, right? But you add life to it. You add like real life. You fix your sleeves. You come in. You fix your hat. Like,
Yeah.
glasses.
There's so many little intricate things,
Yeah,
man,
it's
that
like,
go
you know
into
what I mean?
that.
Maybe you fix the mic. Look over here, looking at him, kind of. Because if you fixing the mic, you checking with him because this is mic.
Right.
So I'm gonna do all those little things.
Yeah.
They're all little details. Make you a dynamic actor.
No, it's impressive, man.
Nah, for
Super
real.
impressive.
I hear you hear actors when they're getting ready for a role, like almost turn into the character, right?
Yeah.
Like, does that
Dude, let me
actually
tell you,
happen?
bro. Yeah, bro, it does,
Explain
man. I'm gonna tell
that,
you, man. Like this Morgan Freeman movie that I just did, man. I had to see a therapist after because I really fell in love with this character. Like being a character feels good, man.
Yeah.
Like this role I'm working on now with Steven Spielberg's daughter.
Yeah.
She's having her directing debut, and
Fire.
she casted me for this movie to play the zombie. I'm playing this zombie, and I'm just like this character that I'm playing is like he's a zombie. But what can I add to the zombie to make him different? You know what I mean?
make
Like,
him different, yeah.
But what I've been doing, like when I'm in the house at night, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm in this room and I'm like acting out this character. I'm like embodying this character. So now when I get in front of the camera, I've been there like every night since I got the script.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I can add different things to this character. But it feels good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it feels really good. I was walking in the house with the lights off last night, and I was imagining if I had guests or something, and they came downstairs, they'd be scared as hell.
Scared as hell. Like, what is this dude
I'm
doing
walking
down
in the
here?
house
like,
with my head turned. I'm walking real
looking
slow.
crazy like
Imagine
this.
he
I'm
walked
making
in
these
here and he
noises, I'm
walked out
like,
like, yo,
this
what's up,
big ass
y'all? I would have been
zombie.
like, hey, bro,
Man,
we out this joint. Hey, nah, that's funny as hell.
This 6'4" zombie, man.
Too big to be that damn good at that
That's
shit.
what I'm saying, to be a zombie and shit.
You know, you come downstairs, you be like, man, what is going on
What's
down,
going
man?
on,
What's
man?
going on? Hello? I be like, Hello.
Right.
Hey,
Is
yo.
somebody out there?
Nah, that's
Nah,
funny
dude,
as shit.
and that's crazy that you said that because, you know, you talk about you going to therapy after, you know, Michael B. Jordan also mentioned how, like, you know, after his role in Black Panther being Killmonger, there was so much to unpack from that character. Like, you know, these are normal things that actors go through, like really becoming that character and
People
taking.
don't see that.
Yeah, they don't see
Because
that.
you spend time. You like I said, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
I'm here for a month doing the same thing. If I'm in here every night
Yeah.
for like an hour, going through the emotions and like the intricacies of this character, I'm gonna become that character at the end of the month. I'm gonna be this character. It's gonna feel so good. I'm gonna be find myself walking through the house all the time, just emulating this character a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when you spend time with a character, it's like you spending time with a person,
Right.
and you getting to know this person on a deeper level.
Damn.
Like internally though, you know what I'm saying? So it becomes a part of you, and so when you get in front of the camera, it feels good.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
for
you be
sure.
like the little like nuances and like the little like gestures like this character gives, you're gonna start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta kind of getting away from that. It's tough, man.
That's so
It's
interesting.
hard. I ain't
It's
gonna lie,
hard,
man.
man.
It's
It's
tough. You got. It's hard to explain, but because it feels so good, man. Like being a serial killer felt so good.
Yeah.
sounds
No, for real. It's
That's
crazy as that
fire.
sounds,
It
but
sounds crazy, but it felt
yeah.
good being a serial killer, man.
Damn.
shit.
Because I can't do it in real life.
Yeah.
So to be able to do it, it's just like
Yeah, real shit. You
I'm
became
like a
that.
badass serial killer, and like this is really happening.
Yeah. No, for real. You know, if you had to look back on your life and everything that you've been through and everything that you've done and describe your life in one word or one phrase, what would it be? You can't use adversity though, because a lot of people use that.
One word.
Yeah,
one word or
one
one phrase. And why?
Inspiring.
It's dope.
Why?
Because everything I do in life is, I know it's bigger than me, and I know it's for a greater cause, and the greater cause is to be able to show the world how to conduct yourself and how to operate at a high frequency, meaning go from one thing to another, to another, to another, and still be able to be that same person, meaning my humility, my character, what I represent, how I represent myself, how I treat others, and giving people my time and energy that I feel deserves my time and energy, like you guys. Like, you know, I don't know y'all. I'm not getting paid for it, but I felt that it was right for me to be able to give my time and help y'all, because it's all about helping each other, inspiring, empowering, working together. And I wish the rest of the world operated like that. You know, if I need to call on like Will Smith, I wish I could. He felt in his heart to just give me his time and his energy, right?
Yeah.
But it don't always work like that. You know, it's so it's just to inspire people. I think inspiration is something that definitely describes me.
Damn. That answer was beautiful. Are you crying?
No, I'm just saying that's that shit I'm talking about, man.
That shit was beautiful as hell.
Man, that's that shit I'm talking about, man. We need more people like that, man.
No,
Willing
for
to,
real.
Nah,
Damn,
that's some real.
this
We were
shit
just talking
is
about that.
fire. Boy, ask the next question. This shit is fire.
Yeah, we just gonna, I ain't even gonna touch on that one, but I totally agree with you, and that's probably one of my favorite answers we've had.
That
for
shit
real,
was
man.
fire.
Like, we need more people willing to
That shit was
extend,
fire.
extend and help, and
man.
extend and help one another, because it's all a collaborative process.
It is, man.
And our next stable question that we always like to ask our guests is, you caught your second wind, probably caught multiple wins in your life. What advice to the people that are watching? What advice would you give to those people that maybe you want to be the next Vernon Davis, or maybe are transitioning from being an athlete into acting, or transitioning from football into a new world? Like, what advice would you give to people watching that hear your testimony, hear your story?
I say do whatever it is that makes you feel happy, gives you joy, and if it continues to keep calling your name, that means it's meant for you to do it. Go for it. You only learn through your failures and mistakes. So if it's something that's calling you, take a chance on it and don't look back. You only got one life. You could be gone tomorrow. Then what you gonna do? You gonna wish you took on that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So go for it but also have a plan. Understand that if you need to make money, you also have to you have to create balance. There needs to be a certain level of balance. If you need money, then maybe you should go for what you're doing, giving it 75% of your time, but 25% you find another opportunity, like whether it's driving for Uber or some kind of way for you to continue to keep generating income or start your own company, but allotting that time to what it is that you're passionate about. But go for it.
Damn. And life is short, man. So you are 1,000% right on that, man.
Yeah,
you gotta just
short,
go for
man.
it,
Life too short.
Life is very short. And like I said, man, we proud of you, man, and the accomplishments that you've done and keep doing, man. We're just, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we just met and, you know, you've done a lot of amazing things and I wish the best for you, man. And I'm excited to see where you take this acting career. Also, you're an entrepreneur as well. Don't want to leave that out. And, you know, you got a lot of businesses and stuff like that, very successful. So you're a man of many trades, man, many hats. So, you know, just congratulations on the accomplishments and the accomplishments to come.
Man, I'm inspired as hell.
Yes, man,
after
for
that,
sure. Real shit,
like
man.
you was talking
For real, man.
that shit on here, bro. Like
Yes.
oh my god, that was a great podcast.
Yes.
I'm so like happy that we have you on
Yes,
here,
man.
bro. Second Win family, make sure y'all go ahead and like,
Subscribe.
comment, subscribe. Go tell your
aunt,
auntie, go tell your grandma,
uncle,
go
your
tell your
goddaughter,
pet, niece,
father,
whoever
something.
you need to tell.
The neighbor, the
We
crackhead,
got
somebody.
the illest interview from Mr. Vernon
Yes, sir,
Davis.
man.
Go ahead and check out his next movie that's about to come out. He gonna
Yes, sir.
body,
He
he
gonna
gonna
body
be the
that zombie
zombie.
role.
He gonna
Check
body
my
that
man out,
zombie
man,
role,
for
man.
real.
Second Win
Yes,
family,
sir,
we
man.
out, gang.